G'day everyone and welcome back to Nat's Macca's Yard. I'm Nat and this is my Macca's Yard. It's looking quite full again, has to be said. So my 900 diversion up the end there, Dave, the Rat Boy, or formerly known as Rat Boy Fazer 600 there, and the new boy here, which I noticed last night has a centre stand. Rat Boy doesn't. Well happy with that. That makes life considerably easier. Means I don't have to mess around quite so much with centre stands. Right, I'm going to drag this back and start taking seat off, tank off, and then having a look to get those carbs out. Cool. Right, always interesting when you get a different version of a familiar bike. Obviously got the same bar, the layout is the same, so left and right coils, if I remember correctly, 1, 3, 2, 4. No, sorry, that's the power in. Sorry, that does 1 and 3. That does 2 and 4. Right, so it goes, for my own memory, look back, orange, red, red, blue, blue. Right, I'm going to disconnect those just to allow me to get that bar out of the way. Oh, kind of forgotten how much of a pain in the arse airboxes are. Yeah, so I knew this, but it was one of those remembering moments. To get the carbs off, you obviously need space, and you don't naturally have that, so the airbox has got to slide back. Now you've got, you know, a few mil for it to go back. So it's battery out. There's a couple of sliders, if you like, one on one side, one on the other, one on the top, which my other one doesn't have, which was a bit of a surprise. And then just hoik the whole thing back. And you can see I've just got enough room to breathe, but not a lot more on that side. So yeah, let's see how I get on. Always a struggle, particularly first time you're doing it with a new bike. Now remember, with the Fazer, I hacked it off. I don't want to do it on this one. So yeah, bit of a bitch to get out. It is just draining over here. It is minging, particularly on the outside. Now, the previous owner was waxing lyrical over how well this bike had been looked after, and just neglected for 6 months or so. But there's a lot of just real basic shite that needs cleaning off. It just lets it down. So yeah, I'll get set up to take these carbs apart. But I am going to have to do something with this before it goes back in, because it's just minging, you know, it's just minging. Right, what I might do actually, how am I set up? Yeah, I can move it. What I might do is, because it's going to hack down at some point, I might just push the bike in and sit in the doorway and do it. Let's get that set up. Alright, so that's float bowls off. They're pretty grubby, but not minging. I say they're not minging. I've seen a lot worse. Right, what I'm going to do is I've just turned on my Ultrasonic, and I'm going to give these a dose out before I bang everything in. Right, so that's the strip out. I'm not going to bother with the diaphragms. They're all absolutely fine. And that wasn't symptomatic of what was wrong with it. What was wrong with it was mostly probably was lower end. It was pilot jets, so if I chuck the choke on, I'd get full burn, and the pipes would warm up, but on the pilot it wouldn't. Now, as it was, as expected actually, and chatting with the garage that I picked it up with the future, with the previous owner, is effectively 2 block pilot jets. The rest is pretty much fine, but I've got the ultrasonic warming up. Be daft not to, so I'm going to bang all of those bits in, and there's the remainder there. I know I could leave the seals on through it. I just don't like doing it. I do, depending on, if they're OEM ones, they'll be fine. If they're cheap Chinese ones, when they get wet with pretty much anything, including detergent, they'll swell and I won't get them back in. So it's easier just to take them out, assuming they'll come out nice and easily, which they do. Where are they? With a little bit of encouragement. So you've got to be careful not to rip them, but as long as you've got the pin under and then you just stroke it round and they come out. Yeah, I'll give those a little bit of a carb clean, which again isn't great on rubber, but as long as you carb clean it, get it straight on, you're fine once this has been through. Now, what I could do is strip the pairs apart and squeeze them into my ultrasonic. It's only a relatively small one, doesn't need it, it's not that bad, I've just given it a dosing, it will be fine. So that'll do me for now. I'll bang those through and I think I'll start filming again once they've been through. Right, so you might just be able to hear the gentle buzz of my ultrasonic in the background. I thought whilst that's going through I'd have a look at the headlights. Now obviously it looks cool as you like with the indicators in the headlight, but it is an MOT failure because there is a mandated distance between the indicators and the bulb, and I can't remember what it is, but essentially looks cool as you like, is an MOT fail. Now what I do have is, let me just check my crap. A big box of stuff that I got from Mike, which is really handy. What I do have is indicators. So what I was thinking of was just banging them through the stem there. Now obviously, sod's law, that bolt is slightly smaller than that, so that's not a goer. And I don't want to do any permanent changes because I'm not sure if I'll keep them or revert back. So what I'm thinking is just a little metal bracket on there and bang those on. Option one. Now before I did any of that I had to sort out what's wired to what. So got the three main ones there. I've got that plugged in. Yeah. So those three cables there are the headlight that do the whole where's my switch gone? There we go. Full beam and all of that pish and dip and all of that, which is fine. And it is that little cluster of three there that is the indicators. So you've got one earth, which is the brown, the red and the yellow, which is the left and the right, which goes into that. So that's how I wire it in. It is off there, off those three, or further up on those three. Now it's just tape, for the old fabric tape around there. So I'm going to whip the tape off, cut them further down, and just give me a couple of branches that I can feed through. What I do have is, when I was doing Rat Boy and I was looking at other options, I ordered some really tiny ones, which I quite like. So what I'm going to do is take the branch cables out. It's really difficult to jam stuff in to test there, so I'm going to need branch cables anyway. So I'm going to graft those in, give me some cables out, because I think it might look cooler. In fact, probably will look cooler with these little bad boys up there. And I'll have to see how the flashing rate goes. But let me get some wire cable extensions on there first, because I don't want to cock it around too much. Right, so that's the branch cable out. So if I go right indicator, so the back is flashing, you can't quite see, obviously it's flashing there, 50-50, I've got my earth connected, go for green is right, awesomeness, like those little ones. I'm going to use those. Sweet. Just got to make up some sort of mini bracket for them now, I suppose. Right, there we go, and a little bit of messing around with my thin metal, was it banding, and I've got a bracket, which I think is actually quite cool. Whether or not I keep it, I don't know. But onto one of the bolts there, and I have an MOT-able bike with legal lights, which is cool. Right, I'm going to make up another one of those quickly. Whether or not I keep them, whether or not they stay, I've no idea. But it will hurt me to put that on silver on a black bike, so I'm just going to chuck some paint on it. Cool. Right, so I've left the distraction of the light for the moment. It's bugging me, so I went back to chuck the carbs back on. Let's give it a go. Now it's dry, so it's going to take a few attempts. Let's see what happens. Hear the pump trying. Get that prime going. Sounds like it's working hard. Pump's still going. Okay, so let's just do the test. I saw me do it, but a bit more. Scorchio, 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 Scorchio. Right, so we're back to 4 pipes working. Awesome. What I might do is just chuck my helmet on. No, I need to put all the panels back on before I do anything, I think. There you go, it's a bit happier now. I realised I pinched the choke cable, so that's why it was running so high on revs. Awesome. Alright, slightly frustratingly, or more than slightly frustratingly, I seem to be on 3. I was on 4. Sorry, I was on 2 before I started all of this. Just had those 2 to start with. Now got that one. It's cooler, but hey, I don't think that's an MOT, isn't well, it's not. So I'll just keep an eye on that. It might spit itself clear. Right, I'm going to re-engage with this fucking headlight because yeah, I went from, I had my left one just staying on solid, which was really irritating. Let's see how I get back. Right, indicators, normally the simplest thing in the world, but for some obscure reason, just nuts on this. Right, so indicators, rear left, sorry, rear left, rear right, rear left. Now there is some dodgy wiring in here because that's gone on and off throughout, and I've hoiked the wiring back from the inside and I've got a good connection, but it does mean I'm going to have to take the panel off and have a proper look because there's something awry there, but I'm not going to do that now. On the front side, front side, so within the light itself, not a drama. Now what I can do, what I can get is my right side working fine. When I turn it off, excuse me for I've run out of hands here, can't find the indicator stem. When I turn it off, it's off. That's fine. I'm just reconnecting the earth here. So the earth on the other one, on the left hand indicator, I just gave a bit of a clue of my issues there. On the left hand side, looks like it's fine. Rear's working as well, but you might notice that that is running out of sync. On off between the two, because when I turn it off it stays on, and that's confusing the absolute tits out of me. Do not understand what is going on there. I thought I'd cracked it, thought I was happy. It's not a continuous circuit, it can't be, because otherwise that indicator would be permanently on, and sometimes it is when it gets a dodgy connection. So next job, now that well, now it's at least running on 3 rather than 2, next job I'm going to take the rear cowling off so I can get to that rear indicator stem. I think I might change those indicators while I'm there because They're crap, I don't like them. And put some of the one that Mike's got on there on instead. I think the look on those little ones is okay. It doesn't detract from the sort of calf look too much. So whether or not they become a permanent fixture, I don't know. But this is just doing my head in. But it'll have to do me for now. So that will do me for now. Stuff that I'm going to do during the week, only little things. I want to take the top yoke off, which means these are security bolts. I can't feel any give on them, which means the whole it just means I'll unplug the ignition, pull the whole thing out and spray the whole lot, which probably needs anyway, frankly. Look at that, it's a bit crappy. So when I get that done, it's kind of my midweek job. But I've got to sort these indicators out because, like I said before, it's an MOT fail to have them in the bulb. That'll do me for now. Thanks for watching all. Yeah, not quite so quick as I'd hoped on this. I'm still not convinced that that it's still going right on the carb front either, which is frustrating. But if I have to do it again, I have to do it again. Right, thanks very much all. I shall catch you later. Cheers. Right, so it's the next day. I've spent longer doing and thinking about these indicators on this bike than I have on any other bike, by a long way. There's something in this setup and the way it's been wired to it that confuses the tits out of me, and I don't understand it. I don't know what it is. In the end, I've cheated. Right indicator is wired into the back of a split from the right. Left indicator has got a cable going all the way back to the back. But what I do have is legal indicators left, legal indicators right, and to the rear, legal indicator right, legal indicator left. Now I've tried all sorts. I was happy with the putting on new indicators and chuck them on, chuck them through the inline resistors and the flash element, but it wasn't until I got it a little bit darker I noticed it was only using half the LEDs. Tried it without, not a problem. Stayed on at the front. So I've tried everything, but I now have it MOTable from a safety perspective from the indicators, which is great. All I need to do now before MOT, and I might try and book it. I've got to put those fills back in. What I might try and do is book it for an MOT this weekend, which means I can then take it for a decent hack and do a bit more of a live and beautiful comparison with Rat Boy, and to see which one I could live with more or better or longer, and then do a straight comparison with Dave, which is the plan at the moment. So I just need the rear brake calipers pads to arrive for this. They're arriving in a couple of days, so it's not a drama. If I was feeling really huffy, I'd just strip them off Dave and chuck them on there, but frankly, for the sake of 2 days, I don't want to take 2 bikes off the road, particularly when I'm going to work tomorrow on that. Right, and on this I'm still on 3 cylinders, not 4. I'm pretty sure the carb is as clean as I can get it. I could probably get it cleaner, but what I do want to do is try and balance it out before I do anything else. So next job on this is going to be a bit of a carb balance, see how far on or off it is. I think I'm going to treat myself. I normally use my manometer, my homemade jobby over there. There's only 2. I'm going to have to do 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and then both banks together, or I can treat myself and buy myself a decent carb balancer. So one of the well, used to be Mercury, but one of the liquid ones. I do have my being bombarded. I do have my air one over the back there, but I've just utterly lost faith in that, and I'm just chasing errors with it. So that's going to go in the bin at some stage. So yeah, I think I might treat myself. Right, that'll do me for the day. I say for the day, most of the footage on this is going to be from yesterday, from Sunday, but it's just for shits and giggles. See what noise we get. Probably not a lot because I've had the battery on. Just to add insult to injury. Yeah. After all my arsing around with the lights, that's battery.